I in the word fight. Fight. We've been talking about how to fight for your family because there's an enemy in the land that is taking children, taking them out, literally taking them out, so that the blessing cannot be transferred. Welcome to Fatherhood Conversations. And I want to welcome you to this episode because in this episode, we will be looking at I in the word fight. Fight. We've been talking about how to fight for your family because there's an enemy in the land that is taking children, taking them out, literally taking them out, so that the blessing cannot be transferred from the fathers to the children. If the children are not there, who gets the blessings? And unfortunately, they may actually be in the same physical space, but the father is absent, emotionally absent, and is not engaged. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about engagement, to turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, the hearts of the fathers to the children. That is where the emotional dimension comes in. There are many fathers who are emotionally disengaged. They are present, they are providing financially, but they are not present emotionally. And that is where the I comes in. The I is for interest. Interest for the transfer of influence. Interest for the transfer of influence. How does interest play into this fight that we are called for as fathers to engage in? When a child shows up with a skill or with a talent or with something that they like, and the father kills it, it's like, what kind of nonsense is that? Is that what your mates are doing? You want to be taking photographs. I remember a particular guy whose father was so upset because he took up photography and did not take up the father's profession, and this guy is good. I'm talking about talented photographer. And I had a conversation with the father, like, let this boy excel in the thing that he loves. The father said no. And the relationship with the father, the boy's relationship with the father was just cut like that. It was just snipped because the father was not interested in this gift that this child had. There was another situation where a girl, very brilliant girl, she made first class, but the father, because she was a girl, was not interested in her academics. He said, what is that to me? You're going to go to your husband's wife. So the lack of interest in the things that matter to our children is what this I is all about. You see, because when you show interest in what your child is interested in, then you have a reason for engaging. Now, tell me about that form. Why did you do this way? And then you get behind the mind of the child. The child begins to tell you their thinking, how they arrived at this particular art form or this particular piece of work, whatever it is that the child is interested in. I remember when I was in my third year as in the university, I was studying philosophy because I intended to transfer to law. And back in the day, I was washing my clothes. We were living in Maryland, Lagos, and I was washing, and my dad was around me as I was washing. And I looked up at him and I said, Dad, I feel a call to become a pastor. And my dad just looked at me and said, why not? Just be the best pastor you can be. And that really pumped me because he didn't take me back to the fact that I said I wanted to do law and said, go and do law so that I will look good as the father of a lawyer. He allowed me to pursue my passion for pastoral ministry. And years down the road, I can imagine at my ordination, my dad was there as the proud father of a pastor. At my first time that I was baptized and after my ordination, my dad was standing next to me, very proud to say that this is my son. My dad is not a pastor, But when I told him I wanted to be a pastor, he didn't stop me. He didn't say, you will not make money as a pastor. But thank God for where I am today. So interest is very important. You know, our third son just started into music and he's been singing with his brothers. They had a group called Abundant Praise when they were growing up. And we could see the passion for music. And when he was at Babcock University, he was into computer science, but he was singing more outside than, in computer science. And finally, we just said, look, if this is what you want to do, let us know. He said, I'm done. I'm done with computer science. He said, would you want to go to Muson? We'll fund your education at Muson, that is the Music Society of Nigeria, that had an institute in Lagos. But he said, no, I don't want to go to Muson. Then he eventually went abroad and started, we went to the US, started doing music, videos and stuff. But today, he's doing something else. He's a creative and he's a happy father with his own first child. And I know that interest that we showed in what he loved, allowed him to blossom. So for interest, engage with your children around their passion, around the thing they are interested in, and that will be a big way to fight for your son and fight for your daughter, to fight for your family, so that you as a man can reverse the curse and restore the blessing. So until the next time when we come your way with Fatherhood Conversations, I am Dr. Israel Bamidele Olaore saying, fight for your family.